There's a box on the shelf at the store, down on the bottom row where nobody looks. And it costs about $5, and it has been sold in that same plain box for over 100 years. Most folks walk right past it, and that box will do more jobs around your house than the whole bright row of bottles above it. And it will still be good 50 years from now, sitting in your cellar exactly as strong as the day you bought it. I am Elias Yoder, and we keep borax in this house the way other folks keep salt. Always a box, always full, and when it gets low, we get another. And I want to tell you what it actually does and what it actually does not. Because there is a great deal said about borax, and some of it is nonsense, and one piece of it is dangerous. And I would rather you heard the honest account from me. Let me say one thing, and then I will not bring it up again. I have gathered these old ways into a book over at eliasyoder.com. If you want it, it is there. That is all. Now let us talk about borax. First, what is it? Because folks use it without ever knowing, and if you know what a thing is, you will use it better. Borax is a mineral. It is not made in a factory, it is dug out of the ground. It comes up out of dry lake beds where old water evaporated away and left its minerals behind. The same way water leaves a white crust on your kettle, only this happened over an enormous time and left whole beds of it. They mine it, they wash it, they crush it, and they put it in a box. That is the whole of the manufacture. And that is why it keeps forever. This is the part I want you to hold on to if you are a person who lays things by for a hard time. Borax is a mineral, and a mineral does not spoil. It does not go rancid like an oil. It does not lose its strength like a medicine. It does not go stale like a flower. It has no life in it to die. It is a rock ground fine, and a rock will sit in your cellar for 50 years and come out exactly as good as it went in. Keep it dry, keep the lid on, so it does not cake up, and it will outlast you. Now, think about that against the shelf of bottles you have under your sink. Every one of those has a life to it. They separate. They go weak. They freeze and split. And every one of them is mostly water that you paid to have shipped across the country. A box of borax is a box of borax. There is no water in it, no filler, nothing to go off. That is why it belongs on a shelf in a prepared house, and it is why my grandmother had one and her mother before her. I remember standing in an English kitchen once helping a neighbor with some work, and I looked under her sink while I was fetching something, and I stopped and just looked. There must have been 18 bottles under there. One for the glass, one for the counters, one for the floor, one for the tub, one for the toilet, one for the wood, one for the stainless, one for the mildew. 18. Every one of them has a different color and a different smell and a different price. And I thought about my grandmother's kitchen and what was under her sink, and it was almost nothing. A box of borax, a box of washing soda, a jug of vinegar, a bar of soap, baking soda. That was very near the whole of it, and that woman kept the cleanest house I have ever set foot in, and she did it for a few dollars a year. And it struck me standing there that the 18 bottles were not a sign of progress at all. They were a sign that somebody had figured out how to sell one job's worth of cleaning 18 times over. The dirt did not get more complicated. The dirt is the same dirt it always was, only the selling got more complicated. My grandmother's 5 plain things did all 18 jobs, and they did them well, and they did them for the price of one of those bottles. That is not nostalgia, that is arithmetic. Now, before I give you a single use, I'm going to give you the warning. And I am putting it here at the front rather than tucking it at the end because it matters more than any of the uses. And I will not have anybody hurt by something I said. Borax is not food. Borax is not medicine. Do not eat it. Do not drink it. Do not put it in water and swallow it. There's a notion going about that you can take borax as a supplement, a spoonful in water for your joints or for this ailment or that one. You will find people saying it. I'm telling you plainly and without hedging that this is a bad idea, and I will not repeat it, and I will not soften it. Borax is a cleaning mineral. It is genuinely harmful to swallow. Poison control gets calls about this. It is not a folk remedy. It is a laundry booster, and the fact that a thing is natural and comes out of the ground does not make it safe to eat. Hemlock grows in the ditch, and it is perfectly natural, and it will kill you dead. So here is the plain rule, and it is the same rule I would give a child. Borax cleans. Borax kills bugs. Borax does not go in your mouth. And that leads straight to the second half of the warning. It must be kept away from children and away from pets. Up on a high shelf, lid on, and when you use it for pests, it goes back into cracks and voids where small hands and curious noses cannot reach. Never scattered out on an open floor. If you have a crawling baby or a dog that eats whatever it finds, you should be very careful indeed with this. And if you are not sure you can keep it away from them, then use it for the laundry and the cleaning only, and leave the pest work alone. There. That is the honest word, and now that it is said, let me tell you why I still keep a box of it and always will. The first thing and the oldest is the laundry. Borax in the wash is a booster. It does not really clean by itself so much as it makes your soap work far better than it would alone, and there is a plain reason for that which is worth understanding. Your water, unless you have gone to the trouble of softening it, is full of dissolved minerals, lime and calcium and such picked up out of the ground the water came through. Now, when you put soap into that water, those minerals grab onto the soap immediately and turn it into a curd, a scum, and that curdled soap is worthless. You cannot clean anything. It just sits there and it ends up as a gray film on your clothes. So, in hard water, a good part of the soap you paid for is destroyed before it ever touches your dirty shirts. You are not using bad soap. Your soap is being captured before it can work. And that is what borax does. It ties up those minerals so they cannot get hold of your soap. It softens the water. And now your soap is free to do the thing you bought it to do, and suddenly the same amount of soap cleans a great deal better than it did before. It also helps with odor, and it brightens whites. And it makes a real difference on work clothes that come in from the barn. Half a cup in a load with your regular soap, and that is all there is to it. And if you make your own laundry powder, which I have shown you before, borax is one of the 3 things in it, along with washing soda and grated soap. The second thing is the cleaning, and here borax earns its keep in a dozen ways. Mix it with a little water into a paste, and you have a scouring paste. It has a fine grit to it, gentle enough that it will not scratch, rough enough to take off baked-on grease and grime. It goes on a dirty stovetop, on a scorched pan, on a stained sink. Let it sit a few minutes and then scrub, and it will lift things that a cloth alone will not. Sprinkle it dry in the bottom of a trash can, or in the bottom of a diaper pail, or anywhere that has gone sour, and it takes the smell down. It works on smell the way charcoal does, and better in a damp place. And here is one of its best uses, and one hardly anybody knows. Borax is death to mold and mildew, damp basements, grout gone black in the corner of the shower, the underside of a windowsill where the wet gets in, mildew on canvas or on a tent or on old cloth stored damp. You make a strong solution of borax in warm water and you scrub the mildewed place with it. And here's the trick, and this is the part folks get wrong. Do not rinse it off. You leave that borax there, let it dry right on the surface, and it leaves a fine invisible dusting of the mineral behind. And that dried borax keeps working. Mold will not grow where it is, so you have not only killed what was there, you have made the place unfriendly to the next crop of it. Scrub it on and walk away and let it dry. That is one of the great honest uses of the stuff. The same reason is why folks treat wood with a borax solution to protect it from rot and from wood-boring insects. It soaks into the wood and it stays there, and the fungus that rots wood will not grow in it, and the insects that eat wood will not eat it. That is a real thing, and it is used in real construction. The third thing is the pests, and this is where borax is genuinely powerful, and where you must be most careful. Ants. Here's the whole method. Ants will not eat borax on its own, so you must trick them. You mix borax with something sweet. A spoonful of borax stirred into a few spoonfuls of sugar water or jelly until it is a thick syrup. Not too much borax. If you make it too strong, it kills the ant on the spot, and that does you no good at all, and I will tell you exactly why in a moment. Then you soak that syrup into a bit of cotton or a scrap of cardboard, and you set it right on the trail where you see the ants running. And now here is the beautiful, cruel logic of it, and this is why it works when a spray does not. The ant finds it, and it tastes sweet, and the ant does not die. Not right away. That is the point. That ant carries that sweet syrup back to the nest, back down into the ground where you could never reach, and he feeds it to the others, and they feed it to the queen. And the borax works slow, and it works through the whole colony from the inside. A spray kills the ants you can see, and the nest goes on making more. This kills the nest. That is why you want the mixture weak enough that the ant lives long enough to carry it home. Patience is the whole of it. You will see more ants for a day or two coming to the bait, and folks get discouraged and give up right at the moment it is working. Leave it alone. Let them carry it home. And let me give you the practical details, because the difference between this working and not working is all in the small things. Put the bait where the ants already are, not where you wish they were. Watch them for a minute and find their trail. That little highway they run along, and set the bait right on it or just beside it. An ant is not going to go hunting across your kitchen for something you left in the corner. Put it in his path, and he will find it in minutes. And do not clean up the trail before you bait. This seems backward, and folks do it every time. They see the ants, and their first instinct is to wipe everything down and scrub the trail away, and then they set the bait. But that trail is a scent path the ants laid down for each other, and it is the road that leads the rest of the colony to your bait. Wipe it away, and you have torn up the road you needed. So, set your bait first, let them find it, let them run it hard, and clean up afterward. Set out more than 1, 2, or 3 of them along the trail and in the places you have seen them, so the whole colony is working on it at once, and not queuing up at one little scrap of cardboard. And then, leave it be. Do not squash the ants you see going to it. Every one of those ants is doing your work for you. That is a hard thing for a person to sit still for, watching ants march across the counter and doing nothing about it. But that is exactly the moment the method is winning, and every ant you kill on the counter is one that did not carry the bait home. Sit on your hands and let them work. Give it a week, sometimes two. You will see the trail thin out, and then one morning, there is nothing. And it stays nothing, because the nest is finished, and not just the scouts. Roaches, same principle. Borax is a fine dust puffed back into the cracks and the dark voids where they run, not in a thick line, which they simply walk around. The bear's dusting, so thin you can hardly see it. They walk through it, they clean themselves, they take it in, and they carry it back. And once again, and I will not stop saying it, cracks and voids only. Behind the toe kick, in the wall void, at the back of the cabinet, under the sink. Never on an open floor, never on a counter, never anywhere near where food is prepared, and never where a child or a dog can get at it. The fourth thing, and this one surprises people, borax will kill weeds. It will. And I am going to tell you about it, and then I am going to tell you the enormous caution that goes with it, because this is the use where folks do real damage to themselves, out of not knowing. Borax dissolved in water and poured on a weed will kill that weed, but it does not stop there. The boron stays in that soil, and it stays a long while, and in enough quantity it makes that ground barren. Nothing will grow there, not the weed and not anything else you might want to plant there afterward, and not for a good long time. So this is not a garden tool. Do not pour borax on the weeds in your vegetable bed. You will regret it, and you will regret it for years, and no amount of wishing will pull that boron back out of the dirt.